Cutting edge, and all of you go ahead and have a seat, and we can just kind of sit and visit this morning and talk about some things about the church and about what God is doing. We want to just kind of talk about Bolivia and talk about mission and talk about this new year and what God has for us. And you've been a missionary how long in Bolivia?
That's kind of a loaded question. We started back in 96, I believe it was, 97, when still pastoring here at the congregation. Went down for a 3-year term down in Bolivia. Of course, stopped off in Costa Rica on the way, and picked up a little bit of Spanish language and picked up a permanent language tutor, my wife Katia. And then I went on to Bolivia and served those 3 years, and then we're back here at the congregation for about 4 years, from 2000 until 2004, January of 2004, we returned, and we've been there since.
Yeah. And then you went back to Bolivia, or you come back here until 2004,
right?
And then you went back to Bolivia in 2004.
Exactly.
And I've been there since. Okay, very good. So, as our church and this local congregation, we're connected at the hip. I met Paul in 1982 or 3 or 4 when I made my first round here, and we became friends then, was involved in discipleship and some kind of discipleship ministry. So our history goes back, good, bad, or ugly, right? It still goes back. Most of it good, all of it good that I know of. But anyway, so we're kind of connected in a lot of ways. And it's part of our mission, not only here in Odessa, but our mission around the world. And what I thought this morning as we talk about this, I told you last week that I was going to start a new series today. And the series is entitled, kind of a long title, How to Discover the Secret Power of God's Kingdom in My Life. How to discover the secret power of God's kingdom in my life. And so we're going to still talk about that in one sense today, but we're going to do it in kind of a dialogue instead of I'm preaching or Paul's preaching. So anyway.
You had 2 sermons today.
Yeah, you get 2 for the price of 1. How about that? All right. But, you know, we started last fall with some new slogans, some new things here at the First Church, and we kind of kicked some things off on Premier Sunday. One of our slogans was Imperfect People, Perfect God. And we've kind of developed that into First Church, where imperfect people connect with a perfect God. And, you know, those are some of the things that we not only want to say that, we want to be able to live that. Because you know and I know that I'm not perfect. Oh, okay. Wally wasn't here, so I wasn't sure if I could get one or not, but I can count on Barry anytime. By the way, Wally is at the hospital right now with Bobby, so we just need to continue to pray for them. But anyway, Paul, I'd just like for you to give us a welcome from Bolivia and some of the things that you'd like to share with us, and then we'll kind of get into some questions about the church and the things that's going on.
All right. Well, first of all, the Saturday night before we loaded on an airplane to come here, I was at a church meeting, and there were about 2,000 hands that waved at you guys. And they said, "Saludos." And that means that I'm supposed to bring greetings to you. And so I've been carrying this weight all this way. So receive the greetings from the brothers of the Church of God in Bolivia. If you receive them, then you wave to me. Now, if you want to load me back up, you can just do the same thing. Just say saludos. All right. We'll be glad to take your greetings back to the brothers and sisters there. They are very excited about the connection that they have with you, although they've never seen you, and perhaps you've only seen a few of them in the slides and what have you that we've shown here in the past. They feel the connection. They always want to know, how is the Church of God in North America? They're very excited about that, and so we're glad to be that link between you and them. And we appreciate what you do, your faithful support of us as missionaries through the years is very important, and we thank you for that. We do appreciate and love you very much for all that this congregation has done and continues to do through the years. I see a few faces perhaps aren't very familiar with us, so I'll just give a little bit of a background of what we do. We work mainly with leaders to train them, church leaders, to train them to do ministry. In Bolivia, there's about 237 established congregations and another 60 or 65 house churches or church plants. And so we don't have pastors there. They're all lay leaders. And so most of them have very little, if any, biblical training and that type of thing. And so Katya and I are very much involved in training of lay leaders to help them to grow in their biblical understanding and to be able to teach and to preach that way. And so that's what we're largely involved in. Katya works also with the ladies groups there, the WCG, if you will have it, there in Bolivia, preaching and teaching to them, as well as doing children's ministries. She does puppet ministry and trains Sunday school teachers to be able to teach in Sunday school classes and that kind of thing. A lot of these things are relatively new in Bolivia, and so Katya kind of filling in the gaps there on a lot of that type of ministry. And so that's kind of where we are and what we do. And so hopefully maybe this morning as we converse a little bit, we can bring out some insight from what we see in Bolivia.